following show contains adult content. It's not our intent to offend anyone, but we want to inform you that if you are a child under the age of 18 or get offended easily, this next show may not be for you. The content, opinions, and subject matter of these shows are solely the choice of your show hosts and their guests, and not those of the Entertainment Network or any affiliated stations. Any comments or inquiries should be directed to those show hosts. Thank you for listening.
Sitting down and designing, where every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't trust me, big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy, big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
Always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your wanna be, Jimmy Star's new celebrity.
We'll take you out to Jimmy Star's.
Hey ho, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, bringing you the good times in music, fashion, pop culture, and entertainment. And we're happy to be here. This is going to be our last show till September. We'll be back the first Wednesday in September, and we're taking 2 weeks off. And so this is our last show. It's going to be a lot of fun. We have
Don't say last show.
Our last show before we come back in September. And we have two great guests.
Last show, stop.
We have actor, director, producer Tom Gore coming on, and then we have futurist, lawyer, barrister, broadcaster, host Andrew Eborn from the UK. So it should be a lot of fun. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Let me first start off by introducing my cool, outrageous man about town co-host and Astro.
Hello, everybody. Yeah, tomorrow we're going on an airplane going to the East Coast. And I don't want to say it's our last show. I'm superstitious. What can I tell you?
That's okay. It's our last show until September 3rd, I think, is our next one.
No, until we come back.
But you'll still see us on social media doing stuff, so it should be a lot of fun. Chat room, not too many people in there yet, but we want to say hi. Stefan Bell is in there, and he's been working a lot on all our different YouTube channels, you guys, so please check out the YouTube channels: Collector's Corner with Jimmy Star, Dark Frights Horror News with Jimmy Star, The Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, and Jimmy Star Entertainment, and Jimmy Star's World. We have 5 of them, you guys, that we're working on, so check them all out. This is Astro.
Did you ever meet a person that is like, Jimmy saw this, Jimmy saw that? I mean, so much, he's so much.
Well, that's what it's called when you have a brand.
Yeah.
And it's working. Yeah. In the meantime, you guys also follow us on our social media. Folks. Yeah, Ron's under the weather today.
I'm not feeling very well. And that flight tomorrow is very long. And I hope I make it without getting weak.
No, you'll make it.
I'm still recovering from that stupid whatever it is I had. You know, it comes and it goes.
Right. Cindy Lady Lake just joined us. What's up, Cindy? How are you? Like I said, Stefan Bell is in the chat room. Astro's looking at me funny from the corner. I don't know what's up with him. I guess he's happy because we're not like playing with him up here on the show. And okay, so do you want to have anything you would like to report or not? Because it's what you usually do the first couple minutes and you report on something.
What can I report?
I don't know. Good shows to watch. You guys, Wednesday just came back on Netflix. Season 2, they're doing 4 episodes and then another 4 episodes in September. The first season was phenomenal. We have, when we come back, we have fun things to look forward to. The Clown Motel 3 premiere is going to be coming up, where Ron plays General Milan. He looks great in the film. Then we also have...
I can't wait for this film to be over. In and out. I'm sick of it.
Hollywood Halloween Hotness then is also coming up. That's actually on the same day as the Clown Motel 3 premiere. Lots of fun events that will be coming in the fall once it gets cooler again. It's 114 degrees here today, and it was like to die for. Yesterday, it was unbelievably terrible. What are you doing, Astro? Stop. Okay, stop, Astro.
I think a Clown Motel 3 Ways to Hell is the biggest publicity of any film yet. There are over 150 actors playing clowns, evil clowns, and the cast. And everybody's putting their 2 cents in and advertising this movie. So what you're going to see in the next few coming weeks is all about Clown Motel 3. And, you know, I wish the producer would understand that more is not better. So
It's going to be a hit though because of that. So many
yeah,
people, so many people will watch it.
It's a clown's bonanza. No one's ever seen so many evil killer clowns. So you know that the arms and the legs are going to be flying around and blood and guts and beating up. It's a horrible thing.
It's going to be fun though, and
I'm
Ron
in the
looks
good
really
part.
good in it.
I'm in the whole beginning of the movie,
First half.
and that's the good part.
We don't even know what happens at the end part because we didn't stay for the shooting of that. We were just there for Ron's
No, I
shooting.
shot my stuff, which is all the beginning of the movie, and then I left. We came home, so I don't know what goes on. I don't even know how it ends. Any one of those movies.
It's going to be fun.
I think so.
I think it'll be a lot of fun, actually. So we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. You can listen to us. We're on Acast, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, Amazon Music, YouTube, where you can watch us live, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, TuneIn, and Amazon Prime. You can also see the show on my TikTok and on my Instagram. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in every week. We're in our 19th year, I think.
And it can't be. I'm only 20.
Yeah. Right. And
Labels. Let's talk about labels.
you hate them.
I
He
will
hates
not.
labels and clothes.
All right, listen. I buy T-shirts to sleep in, and the T-shirts are all designer T-shirts. No. When you sleep in them, you get attacked by a label. The label is usually that big with something hanging from it. What are they, nuts? What kind of, like, when they have to put the manufacturer, the where it came, well, who gives a shit? I just want the T-shirt so I could go to sleep. Also, dress shirts. They have to put their name someplace, these egotistical designers. So you put the shirt on and you don't realize that hanging from the back of the shirt is an 8-inch label with the guy's name on it. Asshole, that's what they should have on it for his name, asshole. If it was asshole, I'd wear the label. So all I do is get my scissors and I cut the label out. Now, in cutting out the label, I've cut the garment. So now I have a big hole. Where there was the asshole's name is now a hole. You do not win. You just don't win.
I don't worry. They don't bother me as much as they bother you, but some of them are actually really big and the corners are sharp, and so they like stick you, and Ron can't stand it.
You. They put holes in
Ron
it.
can't stand that, so it's not any fun.
So the one I have on now has a label right in the front on the right side of you where your belly is. Who's going to see that? Like somebody's going to take my shirt off and look and say, oh, I see your label.
No, I did mine smart. So when I used to do my clothing line, I put the label on the front right here where everybody could see it, but it didn't stick you in the back. So it worked out nice. And if you didn't want people to see it, if you tucked it in, they wouldn't see it. So it was fun. Those were fun times. Long time ago, but those were fun times.
People are complaining about the labels. So now manufacturers are getting smart and they're printing the label in the fabric.
Yeah, instead of actually sewing in a label.
Right. And it's cheaper, cost effective, and makes me happy.
You think so? B. Claudia just joined us. What's up, B? Hello from Germany. Cindy Lady Lake.
We went to a party Sunday.
Yes, we did.
At Jennifer
James and Ming
house.
Ballard.
And we saw Ming Ballard, and they had the air conditioning on, like Nordica. It was, icicles were forming
You
on
have to
the
speak
windows.
up a little.
Huh?
You have to speak up a little.
I can't.
Okay.
This is what I've got. Can you hear me out there? Because my voice is going. Anyway.
So we were in Los Angeles, you guys, and the party. And so when we left the desert, it was 109 degrees, I think.
No.
It was too.
118.
No, it wasn't 118 on Saturday.
Sunday it was 118.
Yeah, but it was Saturday that we went, though. It was 109, but it was 70 in LA, so there was a 39-degree difference between LA and
they
where
had
we live.
their air conditioning on so cold that maybe that's why I don't feel good. I might have caught the flu or some shit, or a cold. I might have gotten a cold. And I had to go out and sit in the patio where they were smoking pot. And I don't smoke pot. And I don't care for people that do because they make no sense. They laugh like idiots and they're stupid. So I had to stay in the house
And it was freezing.
where it was ice cold.
It was good though, and Jennifer James and Ming and I will have a big announcement with Cindy Lady Lake coming very, very soon. I think really soon. By the time we come back, actually. So everything is going good, and we got some big announcements coming up for lots of great things that you guys I think are going to like a lot. So we can go ahead and bring on our first guest because our first guest is here.
What does it mean when, our guest is here. I'll talk about it on the next one.
Okay. Hey, Tom, how you doing?
Jimmy, Ron,
Hey, how are you?
doing great.
Good.
I sound like I'm going to get laryngitis.
I know you don't. Your voice is very low.
I got
deep.
sick at that fucking party. Because of the dope addicts, because of the potheads.
Anyway, so let's do it now that we know we can hear you. Let's
Excellent.
do a proper introduction. Hey, everybody! Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, actor, director, producer Tom Gore. Hello, and welcome to the show.
Gentlemen, thank you for having me.
So this is my cool, outrageous man about town who's a little under the weather, Ron Russell.
He knows who I am.
You sound great, Ron.
You.
I don't know you.
No, we've never met.
We've never met.
You look like somebody. Oh, I know. You
I
look
get that a
like
lot.
Well, actually, too, like he's we know all the same people, just that we've not met him. So he's been in a lot of the
He
films.
looks
that
like
we know
Joe
people.
Castro.
Oh, he looks a no. He doesn't look like.
I know Joe Castro.
Let me see
And he
your
is
profile.
a fantastic creative.
Let me see your profile.
Oh, turn sideways.
No, you don't look like
No,
Joe.
you don't look like
Joe has a
Yeah.
hook nose.
Me and
Joe
Joe look nothing alike.
No, you don't. Joe has a hook nose that he could get a whale. If he dove into the ocean, he could hook a whale.
Anyway,
I'm so
let's.
glad he's tuned into this too.
I've never seen a hook nose like this. His nose is so hooked.
How
When he
hooked is it?
When he breathes, if his mouth is open, the food comes out and goes up his nose.
You're gonna get a suit, so shut up.
Oh,
So I want to first of all say, because I was informed this morning that today is your 50th birthday.
oh, we're gonna keep that quiet, please. I'm
Okay,
fighting
it's
every
not your
chance I
50th
can
birthday,
get.
it's just your birthday. So happy birthday. We want to say happy birthday. Thanks for coming on our show on your birthday. We appreciate it. I'm excited because we have a lot of the same friends, and I think it'll be a lot of fun.
And enjoy
Yeah.
your 50th birthday.
Thank
Because I can remember when I was so stupid, when I turned 50, I said, oh, nobody, don't wish me a happy birthday. I'm 50. Now I'm 85. And all I want them to do is say, thank God you're alive. Happy birthday. So you see, we're never happy, are we?
No, it's a process. You got to keep going through each stage.
Yeah, I mean, I wish I were 50. Oh boy, I wish I could be like you now and say, yes, it's our birthday. I will. I'm going to do that. Yes, Tom, today's our birthday. We're both 50.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you guys you can follow Tom on Instagram. He's at Tom __ Gore _ actor on Instagram. So where are you actually calling us from?
I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where dreams go to die.
I'm in Fayetteville, North Carolina, where dreams go to die. But I thought they used to make a lot of stuff in North Carolina, like all those like Dawson's Creek and all that shit was
Yeah,
filmed
we
there.
had out in Wilmington, which is 2 hours away.
Uh-huh.
And you know the deal. LA, 2 hours is just going from one studio to the next studio. But out here in North Carolina, it's a 2-hour drive as the crow flies. And that's where like One Tree Hill, Dawson's Creek, the Iron Man 3 movie, all that stuff is made in Wilmington. We've got a lot of productions in Charlotte, which is just Atlanta North.
Yes.
And there's a lot of mid-level studios doing stuff. And, you know, there's enough Fortune 500 companies in the Research Triangle area that I will continue getting work as the bad guy on every industrial promotion, hiring, counseling, quarterly meeting video that they keep in-house.
There you go. That's good, though. At least you're working that way.
Yeah.
I love One Tree Hill. That was one of my favorite shows back in the day. And
I got on that a couple episodes.
Oh, were you really? Oh, I love
Yeah.
that. And Chad Michael Murray, he's somebody who I always have on my list. Like if I have a role available for any films I'm producing, I always want to get him, in one of them because I really like him a lot. And I like his wife. His wife, I forgot who his wife is now, but his wife is somebody really big too. Who I can't
I
even
figured out a
remember.
long time ago why our business is not what it was years ago. Years ago, we had 10 studios, period. Today, we have everybody that's twisted, definitely twisted out of their minds, to be producers. Who would, in their right mind, choose the job of being a producer?
It is a hard calling. I mean,
It's insane. Years ago, the studio gave you the job, gave you the script and the money.
First of all, there's over 11 million actors on IMDb, so that tells you.
I think we've ruined
Huge.
the business. Every shithead, every asshole, every moron, every so many of these egotistical people I've met. I just got in a movie. I gave them $10,000, and I'm going to be in the movie, and I'm going to have all my friends over when the movie plays. This is the sickness of was a not pay-per-view.
Oh, you're talking about Indiegogo film.
Yeah, Kickstarter, Indiegogo.
Indiegogo. I don't think too many of them get done on Kickstarter. I think they're more on Indiegogo, but
Yeah.
I
I
think
mean, these people don't know how to act. They don't know where the key light is or a mark. And it shows because the professional actor is out there doing his thing and the moron is over there looking out the window. So I'm very against it. I'm in the business 65 years. So I liked it when it was a craft. And it was done by the best people who took all of their heart and soul and put it into the film.
And you can tell. You
oh
can
no,
tell.
you can tell. Absolutely.
Reason-
I want to like go a little bit into your background before we talk about because literally we have like when you have films that you're in where like almost the entire cast has been on our show and that we're friends with them.
Yeah, I was looking at my watch going, it's about time, guys.
Yeah. So, but I think that so you have a like I think you were in the military, right?
Yes, I did 20 years in the Army. I retired as a chief warrant officer, as an Apache Longbow helicopter pilot, with 3 tours in Afghanistan, 1 tour in Iraq during the surge, over 2,000 hours of flight time, most of it in combat, and got to do some really cool stuff, some really bad stuff, a lot of stuff.
I'm a publicist. Wait, I'm going to go back to the helicopter thing because I'm a publicist, and one of my clients was a helicopter guy in the military too, and now he's like a helicopter guy. He does like medical emergency stuff, with it. Like, can you still fly a helicopter? Like, if you were going to be in a movie, could you fly a helicopter or
Yes.
no?
Yes.
That's cool.
You got to give me a couple rehearsal takes.
Yeah.
Make sure I can fly it right because it will not be, I will guarantee it will not be my last flight.
Because I'm working on a movie called The Washington Triangle. We're going to probably change the name. And in it, there's like a scene where there's like I think there's a helicopter crash, but they're doing it all like in like this thing against a screen and everything. But I don't know if we need a pilot. But if we need a pilot, you could make it look right. It'll look believable. So
I'm on board.
I think it would be fun. Then I also read though, didn't you like play football at like in your 40s?
I did, sir. I after I got out of the Army, I started acting. I started taking classes, workshops, improv training, going to every bit I could get. I've actually auditioned to join the Juilliard. I actually got to go to the Juilliard where they only invite 200 people. I did not get to be selected that year as one of the 16 because it's a process. We know it's a process. Just the fact that I got to there, I'm like, okay. And then I realized that there was a training gap in technology that I didn't have. So I went to Methodist University, got in their graphic design program, and that taught me everything about Adobe, Photoshop, After Effects, InDesign, Premiere, everything. So that way I could make digitally instead of going VCR to VCR, reel to reel, cutting, taping every actual film together and actually use a nonlinear editor to make a movie. Doing so, I went to the coach and had to go through if I was even still eligible to play football.
Yeah, because you're older than everybody else.
And there's life experiences that can disqualify you. I happen to be sheltered from those life experiences that would disqualify you by being in the Army and other countries and dodging bullets and bombs and rockets. Oh my! So I got to play 4 years of D3 level NCAA football.
Well, you're the oldest one, right? You're the oldest. You're in your 40s, and everybody else is like 20.
Yeah, I was at the time the oldest guy playing. And when I retired, well, when I graduated, I was 46 years old. I got interviewed by Sports Illustrated, which is great. I'm like, you guys got to be kidding me. And I thought pretty much my football career was guaranteed over. There's no team is going to draft out of the D3 and 46 years old. I got called by a headhunter over in Europe to see if I can play football in Europe. I'd have to go get my master's degree to get over there.
Right.
I have to interrupt.
Bring it on.
I feel like throwing up.
He's sick. He's not well, but he didn't want to miss the show.
I'm getting a flu. I have to vomit.
Can you get up?
No. Oh, sorry about that, folks.
There you go. All right. We'll keep going. We keep going. The show must go on. So you were
I go to England when try to go to England. COVID hits. They're not taking international transfers. I got to wait a year. Headhunter calls me up next year and says, hey, you want to try it again? And I'm like, sure. So we talked to a few of the head coaches in England. I get selected to go and get my master's at Loughborough University. We won a national championship, went undefeated. So I got this big stinking ring sitting around here somewhere. And then I got to play for the Nottingham Caesars. And it was another, so and we went all the way up to the semifinals before our first loss. So in European play, I'm 23-1, and I retired from football at 48.
There you go. So that was a pretty impressive thing, and probably something that really nobody has done.
Yeah, and I just saw Angel Studios put Michael Chiklis in the senior, and I'm like, how close is that to actual my real life?
Which is fun, actually.
Like, I got way better hair than Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, that's right. Except he doesn't have any. So how did you decide on the whole like acting thing from all of that?
That was one of those epiphanies. In the Army, I did a lot of destruction, a lot of ruin, a lot of bad, make it worse, get it, destruction. It's your job. You win. And when I got out and I was like, I can't keep doing that. I can't do that to myself. I can't do that to my soul. What is the exact opposite side of the spectrum? Creating. And acting has been quite cathartic in the process of creating. You create a different character, you create a different world, you create a different story. And that has been my fueling drive to in the whole process. Whether I'm writing, producing, acting, directing, whatever portion of the story I'm telling.
Right. I think that so then how did you, because you do a lot of horror movies. Were you a horror movie fan before you started doing them?
No, I am a sci-fi guy.
Okay.
My younger study of personal time was Bradbury and Asimov.
So what are some of the favorite like movies as a youngster or growing up, or things that had an influence on you to want to get into all of this?
Krull.
Oh, wow.
The old Star Trek.
Yes.
And Spock, because the philosophy behind where humanity can go is what makes that so endearing. Right now the popular culture is this dystopian wasteland, the zombies, the fallout, the earth, humanity's ruined Earth, and right now it's trending, it's cliquey, it's the thing to do, and I'm biting at the hip to just, when is it going to get back to where humanity can achieve greatness? Where can it go forward positively? Shows like Foundation.
I've never even seen that show.
It's on Apple. There's a shameless plug for Apple Plus. You're welcome.
Okay, that's okay. You can plug them. I was trying to think, because like on our show we've had several people from Star Trek on, but now I can't think of who it was. But the original Star Trek.
Oh, There's not so many left of them now. You got Bill, Walter.
Oh, and this is a long time ago. We had him on, not lately.
Okay.
We had Walter Koenig on.
Walter's
And
awesome.
had well, maybe the other one that we had on was from the newer one. She has blonde hair. I forgot her name. Isn't that terrible?
Jerry Ryan.
No, not Jerry Ryan, but I know who I forgot who the I guess Walter's the only one from the original Star Trek that's been on, and then we've had a couple people from the Patrick Stewart Star Trek too. But I'm all about the Captain Kirk Star Trek. Krull, I don't think I've ever even seen. I know what it is, but I don't think I've ever seen it. I'm more of a horror guy though than I am a sci-fi guy. Even though I'd like to make a movie with aliens,
Yeah. Well, with the name like Gore, I'm automatically included in a lot of horror conversations.
Yeah, how did that actually come about? Like, is that your real name, or did you come up with that name?
All 7 letters. I blame my parents.
So did they like horror movies?
No. My mother was in the Air Force. My father was in the Air Force. But they were not horror fans. She was like a rom-com junkie. If she liked that kind of stuff.
Do you watch horror movies at all? I mean, because you've done a lot of them.
I do. It's like, and then horror is so wide an umbrella.
Yes.
So when you watch the new Predator movie, yes, it's horror, but it's also sci-fi.
Right.
When you watch Aliens Earth, it's horror, but it's also sci-fi. So there's a lot of cross-bending.
Crossover.
Like, is it really horror in a sci-fi setting, or is it sci-fi in a horror setting? So like there's a lot of slasher stabby movies. You know, dude in a mask runs around, kills co-eds. Not inventive. I'm probably not going to waste that 2 hours of my life. If you've got a concept,
it's funny. I like some of those because I'm a big Scream fan, and I actually have my own film, but it's got an actual plot, not somebody just going around killing somebody. But I have one that we're working on now that it's different, which I can't tell anybody the difference until we make it. But
it has to have a plot.
Yeah, it has a plot. I like that too better. Like I have a lot of respect for like the Terrifier movies just for what they've accomplished financially. But like those movies, like the stories are terrible, and basically it's really just how much all the different ways you can kill somebody.
I think as a guy who's done a lot of horror movies and effects, when you're watching the old research movies like Friday the 13th, 2, 3, 4, and 5, the effects team is driving that movie because they're inventing the next special effect death sequence. Whoever's playing Jason has got to, look the part, but it's the effects team pulling off the stunts, the moulage kit, the body parts,
right.
And that is the real work in the movie. And I watch a movie to see where is the work being done to show us something new.
Yeah, and sometimes you get something new, and sometimes you don't. I'm actually doing a film with Adam Marcus from Jason Goes to Hell, and he was the director and the writer, and he's going to be directing the film that we're working on soon. And I think we've had almost every person who ever played Jason has been on the show. And in my collection, so I collect action figures, and I have a 6 foot Jason. I have like a 7 foot Krampus. I have all the animatronical things in my collection. But I like that a lot. I basically get the action figure of anybody who comes on the show if they have one, and if they have a bunch of action figures, I get all of them.
Oh my! I don't have any yet. I'm almost there. That Claw is on the ladder rung.
There you go. I like it. So let's talk about some of the stuff that you've actually done, because we've had so many of these people come on. First of all, I think that I just saw on Facebook, I think it was today, because you have a film, Kill Giggles, that you're in, and Kill Giggles, I think, is getting ready to come out in like a week or two.
On August 26th, Kill Giggles. We take the clown killing story and turn it on its head.
I love it.
The clowns are the victims.
Oh, that's cool. That's something different. Oh,
say
Kill
that,
Giggles. Yeah, Kill Giggles.
and I say that without spoiling anything.
No, that's not a spoil because that's actually the name of the title. Like, if you really, I wasn't thinking about it because it's got a great clown on the cover the poster that they put out. But if you actually read the title, I didn't even put that together until you said that. But Kill Giggles is the name of the title. You know, it's got a clown on the front of it. So
Yep,
I happen to like clown movies. Ron's done a whole bunch of them. He's done Clown Fear. He did Clown Motel 2 and 3. He has Clowny getting ready to come out. He has all kinds of these clown movies, and he doesn't really like them in so much anymore. But I just wanted to bring it up to support it since it's a film that you have coming out, Kill Giggles, and also I have a film right now on Tubi that I produced called The Beast Inside, and it stars Vernon Wells, and Vernon Wells is in Kill Giggles.
yes, he's actually the titular character.
And then Felissa Rose is in it, and Ron did a movie called Big Freaking Rat, and Felissa Rose was in that one, and Denny Nolan, who's in all the Clown Motel movies, is in it, and you're in it, and you were on the show, so we give it a little plug. So I don't have the trailer for it because I didn't see that until today.
It's a small circle.
But so how was it working with Vernon Wells? He told some great stories with us when we were on set.
I actually did not get my scenes and Vernon's scenes did not coexist in the same shooting time.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
So I did not get any personal one-on-one time with Vernon on this project. I'm sure in the future it will be because it is, as you've already described, it's a very small circle.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Right? It was only a matter of time.
You know, kind of like threw me that we haven't met, which we should say we want to thank Matt Chasen, one of the coolest guys in Hollywood who doesn't even live in Hollywood, for setting this up. But Matt Chasen is such a great guy. I have a great rapport with him, and he has really put some great guests on our show. So let's go to some of the films then that I know that we've I also made a list just so we can talk about all the different things that you've actually been in. I think I wrote one thing on the wrong person. But so Desert Fiends, and I want to bring it up because there's a Desert Fiends, and I think Desert Fiends 2 is going to be coming out soon.
It's in post right now.
And those are both. Oh my God, I'm having a brain fart.
Sean Phillips?
Sean Phillips, yes, who's been on our show. I couldn't think of his name. Sorry, Sean. Actually, before I ever knew he made films, I used to follow him on YouTube for his DVD update show or whatever. He's got a really popular show. Every Tuesday he goes and gets whatever DVDs come out, and he does a YouTube channel on it.
Yep.
So Desert Fiends, Eric Roberts, Bai Ling, Michael Pare, Scout Taylor Compton, Spencer Breslin, Tom Arnold, Robert Lasardo, William McNamara, Lisa Wilcox, Eileen Dietz, Sean Phillips, Brett Wagner, Paul Gunn, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So basically in that film, we've actually had Eric Roberts, we've had Robert Lasardo a couple times, William McNamara, Lisa Wilcox, Eileen Dietz, Sean Phillips, Brett Wagner, and Paul Gunn. So we've had almost everybody, and you on the show. It's an all-star cast for a low-budget film.
In the desert, and
it was hot as hell, right?
Nelson Ghost Town has never heard of the words air conditioning.
Oh, I believe it because we shot Clown Motel in the desert too, and it was freaking hot as hell.
Yeah, they shot Clown Motel 3 right after Desert Fiends 2. Like half the set was already involved, all the people, and they just migrated over. As soon as one was wrapped, the other lit up, and I was like, "Oh no, I'm going back to North Carolina, guys. This heat. I've done 3 weeks out here. Have a day."
Yeah, we were only on Clown Motel 3 for 4 days, I think, but it was hot. And I live in the desert because we live in Palm Springs, so we're used to hot, but it was, really hot. And Ron was 84 when he shot it. It's pretty hot to be walking around out, because he's not a clown. He plays General Milan. But it was a lot of fun. So what I thought we would do is play the trailer for Desert Fiends so everybody can get an idea what it's about. Do you know the story? Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Desert Fiends 1, I cannot tell you anything about the story. I apologize.
That's okay. Have you seen it?
Actually, no, that's a lie. It's there's a toxic waste dump that mutates some people out into the wasteland, and they go on a killing spree when their territory gets invaded by a concert.
Oh, I love that. So Juan, we're gonna play the one that says Desert Fiends trailer. You introduce it for us, and we'll be right back. You hang on. No, you introduce it for us, Tom.
Oh.
Introduce the trailer for it, and then you hang on, and we'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by for the trailer to Desert Fiends.
There you go. That was good.
If I was such a big loser, how would I have managed to score 6 of the hottest tickets in town? It is a very exclusive, very lit music festival that takes place out in the middle of the Nevada desert.
Wonderful! I heard about the festival through the grapevine. I know a shortcut. You turn right over there in the dirt road. You'll save 40 minutes.
What a bunch of idiots.
Yes, they are!
Breaker, breaker, 6-9. There's a Papa Bear. Good news. There's a rock and roll concert near base camp. Even better news. We're gonna eat for a long time.
So there you go. That's the first one. I love it. It's so fun to watch because I know everybody there that's in it.
Yeah, it's good when you see your friends do fun things.
I know, absolutely. So in the chat room, we have this great lady. Her name is B. Claudia. She's a friend of the show. She lives in Germany. She wrote down that we had Adrienne Wilkinson, but she was in Star Trek Renegades. She played Exa Singh. I don't know what the hell that means. And we also had Tracy Lee Coco, who was like Lieutenant J. And we also had, I looked up the other one I couldn't think of, and I thought she was in the old Star Trek, but Denise Crosby from The Next Generation.
Ah, Tasha Yar.
Yes. So, and we also had a guy. Oh, I bought his action figure after he came on the show. Now I forgot, but he's in The Next Generation also. Now I forgot his name. But I think it's a lot of fun. So I have a lot of Captain Picard action figures just because I like him. I think he's fun. So then you went to Desert Fiends 2. Now that's the one that just shot, like the one we did Clown Motel. When's that one coming out? Do you know?
I'm thinking it should be out January, February timeframe. I'm not 100% sure. I know there's a process. I know that they're still actually editing it right now.
So we got Eric Roberts, Robert Carradine, Robert Lasardo. I love Robert Lasardo. He's like one of the coolest guys ever. Martin Kleba, who's in Clown Motel.
Yep.
Kansas Bowling, Brett Wagner, Douglas Tate, Kato Kalin, and Adrian Dev. And you. We actually met Robert Lasardo. Do you know who the Mahal brothers are?
I do. Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. So we go to all their premieres, and they're great guys. And they always invite us. And so he was at the. I don't know if it was
putting out content. They're
yes. They did Bloodthirst, I think, at the premiere, and Robert Lasardo was there, and I was actually kind of like nervous to talk to him just because he plays really terrible people. And he's the nicest guy ever. We talked to him. He watches Turner Classic Movies, and he's been on the show a bunch of times, and we talk on the phone all the time. And he's just one of the coolest guys in Hollywood. He really is. For someone who looks so intimidating.
It makes it so easy to be a bad guy on screen if you're a real nice guy in real life.
Yes.
Because no one expects it out of you.
And he's the nicest guy really you'll ever meet. Like, I was super impressed and just really love it. And I'm going to use him in some films coming up that we're producing. And so I think so. So you're also a director, because I saw you directed something. I wrote it down. 60 Seconds to Live. I don't know what it is.
There was a series of short films in the 60 seconds category. It's like it's really 60-second short films. There's 60 Seconds to Die, 60 Seconds to Die 2, 60 Seconds to Die 3, 60 Seconds to Live. And it was a series of them, and I directed a couple of shorts and submitted them.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
And it's so hard to tell a 1-minute story. It really is. It is its own art.
Never tried to do that before.
You know how commercial producers, commercial directors have a certain mentality about them? They got 270 words, 30 seconds, 6 to 8 shots, and that's the commercial. And
Yes.
somehow you have to say the client's name 7 times to get your commercial bought and sold to the client so it gets out there. Just flip that on its edge. You get 60 seconds. You get a little bit better dialogue, but mostly about somebody screaming to death in the last 10 seconds of their life. And it's difficult. It's a challenge, and I like a challenge.
So I've never tried to do that. I have participated in those like 48-hour film festival things and stuff like that before, and that was
7 minutes.
That was pretty difficult. Yeah, that was difficult, but like a minute is like no time whatsoever. That's cool though. So those are 60 seconds to die. Well, yours was 60 seconds to live, but there's 60 seconds to die 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, and I've directed shorts in those as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's cool. I like that. You also have another film, Skate to Hell, and that one we've had almost everybody on too, and a lot of the same people are in that one, and I think this one looks like a lot of fun.
Oh, it is. It was a fun time.
James Duvall, Robert Carradine, Jenna Jameson, Todd Bridges, Spencer Breslin, Robert Lasardo, Brett Wagner, Douglas Tate, Scott Schwartz, Lisa Wilcox, Oliver Robbins, and Eileen Dietz, of which, we've had James Duvall, Eric Roberts, Robert Lasardo, Brett Wagner, Douglas Tate, Scott Schwartz, Lisa Wilcox, and Eileen Dietz. So we had most of them. How was it to work with, because Spencer Breslin, isn't he he's the kid from like 2.5 Men or something, isn't he?
I do believe you're correct. My scenes were not with him. The times I was on set for that, we had only some of those people on the list.
Okay. I love like Brett Wagner. He's Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Douglas Tate is everybody.
Brett is great. I get a chance to hang out with him every film set I'm on with him. Somehow I get to hang out.
Guy.
Yeah, dude's phenomenal.
He's really a lot of fun. He's been on the show, and I follow him in all his social media. He signs autographs every freaking weekend.
Yeah, he gets around. He's talking to the fans. He's quite prolific for a reason. It's because he's genuinely a great guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and he also knows that if it wasn't for the fans, he wouldn't be as popular as he is, and he respects that, and I like that with every actor who does that, which most of these actors do. Felissa Rose is really good with the fans.
Yep.
Vernon Wells.
Yeah, they do a show together.
Yes. Oh yeah, that's right. Felissa and
Brett, they do a podcast show together where they talk about all things horror and what's coming next.
Yeah, they're really good people. I like them a lot. So I want to play the trailer for Skate to Hell. Now, is Skate to Hell already out or not?
No, it's coming out soon.
Okay.
It's like an any day now kind of thing, but I don't know what day it is.
All right, so we're gonna do the one that says Skate to Hell, but you introduce it for us, and this time say your name and then introduce it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Tom Gore, and you're about to watch the trailer for Skate to Hell.
You're good.
Who's ready to be shocked and amazed? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Yeah! Listen, man, it's the Lord. It's got some kind of unholy power, dude. It can send people straight to hell.
Evil fucking powers, huh? I'm so scared.
Welcome to your favorite game show, Escape Room from Hell.
He's in his own personal hell now. He might be back, but I still haven't figured out how it works.
It appears my son may be in danger. I must visit the Earth's surface. Sort this thing out.
Obviously, I had to take on a new form. Do you believe I could walk among Earthlings?
The new look suits you.
We're here for one reason and one reason only. To find my son.
My earthly name is Howard, but downstairs they call me Huggity. So where can I crash for the night?
Get rid of this thing. Whoever owned this before burns churches and worships Satan.
I want to be good, but it's so fun to be bad.
Is anyone else here getting charged up?
Not around here, are you?
Holy shit!
You look like hell.
Thanks for noticing.
Lower class citizen.
And you're a lightweight.
It looks like shit.
Give me a dollar, give me a dollar.
Really, John? You got me into this, didn't you? Maybe you can get me out then.
Wanna go home?
Joe's home, Mom.
You think those beavers are here?
What the fuck?
Great kid filled up by 12-year-old. What did my life come to?
Armpit first is not an instrument.
That's crazy.
Check that out at the local library.
You'll be judged for your sins.
He's ruining my film experience.
I can't believe that old dusty fool Jim Seamstress is back to making films again.
Who would watch a movie like this? You would have to be insane.
Money is home.
I love it. I think that looks like the cutest movie ever. It's a comedy. I love to see Mason Reese in there. I don't know if you're old now. Like Mason Reese was a huge child actor back in the day. I don't know what he was in, but and I also love to see the Ghostface guy. Now Lee Waddell, he was on our show last year.
Funny dude. Dude is fantastic. He's got a billion stories.
I know. I'm a big. It's funny because like I love all the people who play the characters. You know, like we've had Pinhead on, and we've had Freddy Krueger, and we've had 3 different Pinheads on, but the main one was Doug Bradley.
Yeah, Doug's.
We've had all the Cenobites. You know, we've had all the Cenobites on. So this show is 18 years old, and when I first started this show, I was a clothing designer. I dressed everybody, and I would take clothes to conventions and introduce myself and invite them to the room. And if they like stuff, you know, as long as I could take pictures, you know, I would give them the clothes, and they all loved the clothes. And that's how I built the show, you know, because then we would become friends. The show had only been on the air for about 2 months, and I had like Malcolm McDowell and Lance Henriksen and all these huge people, you know, coming on the show. And that's really helped build the show a lot, like right off the bat, you know, because most podcasts start and they're unable to get really big people. And we had, you know, Gary Wright, Dreamweaver Gary Wright was one of our first music guests. Expose, who had sold like millions of records as like this girl group, and so but basically that's how I did it. Is I would like, you know, go to conventions and meet the people and give them clothes and take pictures and use them to, you know, sell my clothing line, and they all loved it. And then they all came on the show, and we blew up really fast. You know, we were doing a million views a week, you know, within like 4 months or something. Which was pretty big back in the day. And we didn't even have a thing called, they didn't even call it podcast when we started. It was a radio show. We didn't have podcasts. So it's been a fun evolution. Now we have 1.3 billion streams, and we're having fun. And every week we bring on just different, you know, kinds of people. I always go to Matt. We're getting ready to go on vacation. And I was like, Matt, I know you got somebody good for me. And he's like, have you had Tom Gore on? I said, no. I don't exactly know who he is. And then I looked you up, and I was like, oh, yeah, he'd be great because we, like, know all the same people.
It is a small world. That's it. I hope I'm not closing the loop on it. I'm just another cog in the wheel.
Oh, no, you're definitely not closing the loop on it. So do you watch any horror movies? Like, have there been horror movies growing up that you actually watched and liked?
Well, that is the question. Watched, yes. Liked, maybe.
Not so much.
Not so much. And sometimes like if I watched a movie when I was younger, not so young, and now I do watch it with 3 different sets of eyes.
Yes.
So, you know, back then I probably didn't like it at all because I didn't get it. And then when I was a little younger, it's fine. And I didn't understand why a filmmaking team makes the choices they do.
Right.
You know, and now as I'm older and I've done it and I'm continuing to refine my craft, I see myself going, how do I make it better so that way 6, 7, 8-year-old me can look at it and say, I understand the choices that were made before me, and how I get to make different choices to make it better so 6, 7, 8-year-old me actually gets it. Because those young kids with the internet and the proliferation of everyone having a phone, they're going to watch your movie, whatever it is. There's no more handlebars. There's no more safety bumpers. Your creativity is going to go down the bowling lane, and you're going to hit a strike or you're not.
No, absolutely. I can remember because my first movies that I saw, what was it called? Phantasm was one of the first horror movies that I saw, by myself. Phantasm and Phantom of the Paradise, which I don't know if you're old enough to remember.
I do remember Phantom of the Paradise. That's a great movie.
A great movie, and those were the first two that I actually went and got. My parents let me go see. They dropped me off at the movie theater and then picked me up, and I got to see them on my own. And I love both of them to this day. And it's funny because I became really good friends with the kid from Phantasm. I actually did another movie that I produced that he was in. What's it? Baldwin. Oh my God, I can't think of his name. I'm having Michael Baldwin. Michael Baldwin, who's the kid in all the Phantasm movies. He's in like all of them. And Reggie Bannister, and I actually met the guy who played Angus Grimm. I met the tall guy.
Rest in peace.
Yes, rest in peace. But it's such a great, monumentally different than every other movie. People get killed, but it's totally different than.
Yeah. I do remember I was young. My mother took me to go see Friday the 13th, the first one. And that was one I didn't get. Like,
oh, funny. Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't scary to me. I do remember it wasn't scary to me. I mean, I was a young kid. My mom probably shouldn't have taken me to see Friday the 13th Part 1. Now I know, everything behind it, all the story behind it, all the sequels, and how that has evolved over the decades. Creatively, makeup wise, technological wise, legal wise. It is.
We actually had Sean McNamara on the show, who's the creator of Friday the 13th. And then we had Steve Dash, was a really good friend of mine. I lived in Florida. When I started this show, I lived in Florida, and Steve Dash was a really good friend of mine. And Steve Dash was the first Michael Myers, the one with the bag over his head. I mean, not Michael Myers, the first Jason Voorhees with the bag over his head. And he was a really good friend of mine. And he actually, the studio that we broadcast out of is in Florida, and he actually came to the studio, and we did the show live in the studio when I lived in Florida. And he was like the coolest guy, ever.
After
peace for him too.
After you get a feature out and it's, one of those legacy building features, your attitude at life changes, I found, dramatically. Like something cathartic happens in the process. And it's like you knew that person before the movie, and you're fortunate enough to know them after the movie, and there's something that changes them in the real world, not just on camera. And it's great to see. It really is.
I think that, so I've got one that I'm working on. It's called The Legend of Bunny Man. And I've already got, I already have action figures made for it. I had a series of 12-inch and 3.5-inch action figures made for it. And I also have a sample one, and we're putting it together right now. I came up with the concept. Somebody else wrote the script, but I came up with the script based on my idea. And I think I'll be funded before the end of the year, and we'll shoot next year. But I'm hoping to be the next, smarter type of a horror movie, because it's not an art to clown. People get killed, but it's not, just going around because they laughed at somebody and you get killed. It's got an actual
plot,
an actual story behind the whole thing, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a lot of fun. And I've got another horror movie called The Red River that's a unique one also, and that one's already funded. We're just waiting for the funds to hit the bank. Do you like directing? Like, you mostly act, right? You've done your IMDb is more acting than anything.
I do like to act. Directing is a concerted effort because it's more of a process. When you're acting, you get to let go.
Right.
You make your choices, you fulfill your contract obligations, you say your lines, you do the hardest bit of being on camera, and that means being entertaining.
Right.
As a director, you have so much more responsibility. It's the exact polar opposite than being an actor. And it is, if you've never done it before, oh, Ben Affleck, he was an actor and a director in the same movie. The amount of talent, time, skill, requirement, training, discipline, and coordination and communication it takes to achieve that goal is why Argo has an Oscar. And if you're a fan of Ben Affleck or not, the craft he's cultivated is
actually a
remarkable.
I'm not a fan of him as Batman so much, but I am a fan of him in general. And I actually like to watch I don't like the whole movie. I like to watch through the first bar part where Matt Damon, of Good Will Hunting. Like I like all the beginning parts of it, and then when he goes to the bar and Ben Affleck says something, and the blonde-haired guy tries to make fun of him, and then Matt Damon comes in and like buries the guy, and then I usually stop after that because I don't really care about the rest. But when he solves the problem and stuff, I think that's like great, and I think that Ben Affleck has had a very controversial, controversial career. But I don't believe, whether you like him or hate him, you can't deny the talent. I mean,
correct.
The guys, and that's the way I feel about a whole bunch of people, because there's a lot of actors that I'm not particularly fond of. But I actually have a friend who worked on that basketball movie where Ben Affleck plays the alcoholic father, and he said he was great. They said he was like great to work with, and they were just one of the little cast members, the basketball team people, and they were like, he was terrific. I still talk to him, and so it's good.
I think he's the best Batman.
Oh no, I don't like him as the I like
he's
the old.
My best Batman because we had that scene with Jeremy Irons. And Jeremy Irons is phenomenal talent, no matter what. I
think Jeremy Irons is fabulous.
When he has that dialogue with Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is Alfred, and he admits that he is unrelatable to the common man that he's supposed to be defending in Gotham. And I'm like, this is not Ben Affleck talking. This is Bruce Wayne talking. This is really not the guy in the cowl, because you can put me in a cowl and I'll look like Batman. This is really Bruce Wayne admitting what only Bruce Wayne can. And Ben Affleck, we know he's got women trouble. We know he's got money things. We know he's talented, he's skilled, he's popular. He is everything. If he had Gotham, he would be owning most of Gotham as Ben Affleck, like in real life. And him to have that conversation where it blurred the lines that even though I knew it was Ben Affleck, and it blurred the lines so much that I felt that he really was channeling Bruce Wayne. That's when it got me. That's when he became the best Batman.
I know. I think I really liked the cheesy Batman, so I liked, and I'm not a fan of George Clooney in general, but I like George Clooney as Batman. I loved Alicia Silverstone as Batgirl.
She was believable. She was believable.
Yeah, so in general, I don't dislike any of them. I like all of them.
No.
I collect the action figures from all of them. I actually have a Batmobile collection, and it's all signed. Like I have one signed by George Clooney, one signed by Robert Pattinson. Like I have a huge collection of it, so I like all of it.
I am looking forward to the Batman 2.
Yes. Now, what did you think of the first Batman? Did you like it? The Batman?
I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. Huge fan. 9.8 out of 10.
Yeah, I thought it was good too. It was a little darker than I don't really like them when they're so dark, but I guess that's the world that we live in. But I thought Robert Pattinson was great. I was also a big Twilight fan, so I like Twilight. And
as a year two Batman, Robert Pattinson crushed it. We knew he was a young Batman, a young Bruce Wayne, and there was during the first 5 years is where Batman evolves to becoming the Dark Knight that we hope turns into Adam West or George Clooney or Beetlejuice.
It's funny because I live in Palm Springs, and Adam West used to live literally like down the street, like maybe like a mile from us. And I actually met Adam West at I used to act. I'm not really very good, but because I'm popular in social media, I was in a lot of things. Like I've got a couple hundred movie credits, and And I met Adam West at a convention in Orlando, and he was coming in as I had to go out for an audition, and because I was in Orlando, I had an audition, and I just said hi to him, and I told him I had an audition. He was so nice. He was super friendly. He was super nice. He took a picture with me out on the street, and then I paid and got a picture later with him. But he was like the nicest guy, ever. And as a kid, I watched that every morning. It was on at 6:30, and I would watch it, as I was getting ready to go to school every morning.
Yeah, Batman in the morning was how you started your day.
Yeah, so
you watched the Batman.
A lot of people don't get that because they're not old enough, and I'm a lot older than you. But I think that
yeah, we you shovel down the life cereal, watching the Batman before you go to catch the bus.
So here's a question I like to ask actors, and there's no right or answer. It's a two-part question. Number one, if you could have ever been in any movie that's ever been made, what movie would you like to be in? And then the second part of it would be bucket list male and female actor that you would love to work with, and they could be living or dead.
So movie I wish I could have been in. The one that changed my life, Reservoir Dogs.
Great movie. Phenomenal movie.
Yep. If I could be in any movie, that would be the one.
It's a really good movie. Nobody's ever picked that before either.
As somebody who's made movies before, you got one. They used like the outside stuff. The restaurant is restaurant, but the warehouse where everything happens is a coffin warehouse. They just tarped it and did everything. All of the drama, the whole movie is in a casket warehouse storage room, and they just stacked them, racked them, and bagged them, and just like, this is where we're working today, guys.
I love it. It was a great film. That's funny too that I never really, I don't think anybody's ever picked that. Okay, male and female actor. Let's go there.
Oh, female, Sandra Bullock.
Oh, that's a good pick. I like Sandra Bullock. What's your favorite Sandra Bullock movie?
Demolition Man.
Good movie.
Wow,
you pick a lot of offshoot. You pick a lot of like, that's kind of sci-fi too, though. But like, you pick a lot of like off the wall films that, because I asked this question to everybody, and like nobody's ever mentioned any of them. So it's nice. It's nice to have something different. And I'm glad you didn't pick Meryl Streep, because everybody who picks Meryl Streep, I want to punch him in the head. So many better people than Meryl Streep.
She is so giving, so talented, and so intelligent. For her to play so far below her mental capacity and make it believable, it takes more than just, I know I'm making a show. I mean, she sells it the whole way, and it's seriously a brilliant performance that is completely underrated.
I'm gonna have to rewatch it now just because of that.
Yeah, and there's some
who else? Wesley Snipes is in that, right?
Wesley Snipes, Sylvester Stallone, Deuce Bigelow, Rob Schneider.
Rob Schneider, yes. No, that's fun. Okay. And give me a guy. Give me a guy.
If I can, Steve Buscemi.
Great pick. I think that he is
top of the list. You got Crazy Eyes in an Adam Sandler movie. Then you've got The King of New York.
That's
as
funny.
One of the most vicious mobster dudes ever. Like, that's full spectrum range.
Was King of New York the one with Christopher Walken?
No, not Kings of New York. The other one, Empire, not Empire.
Oh, Empire.
Not Empire. He's a mobster in New York. God, what's the title of that? What?
I think when I think of Steve Buscemi, I think of, wasn't he in the Go to Space movie with Bruce Willis?
Yes, Armageddon.
He's really good in that. He's really good in Con Air.
Oh, he's fantastic.
He's also there was some other movie that I've always liked his movies. I also feel like he's way underrated, because he should be like a household name like all these other people. His movies are so great. His movies are terrific. He's such a great star. I've never met him. He's somebody I'd like to meet, actually.
Yeah, trying to find what is
when he was in Con Air, though. That was like one of my favorite characters in Con Air.
Boardwalk Empire.
Great show.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
he's in all the Hotel Transylvania movies, the animated cartoon movies, everything with Adam Sandler. He's He's in his hip pocket. It's
No,
just,
that's a good pick. I agree with you. I think that's a really good pick.
yeah. If I was Spielberg and had my way, I would be with Steve Buscemi in a movie. But I'm
it.
not.
Okay, now let's switch it up a little bit. As a director, what movie would you have liked to directed? Is it going to be the same movie?
No. As a director, if Disney was cutting my check, movie I would like to bring out. I would like to redo The Island.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes. Leonardo DiCaprio, they're clones and they win the lottery, and what it really is
Oh, no, that's not Leonardo DiCaprio. That's Ethan Hawke, I think. I was thinking of the Leonardo DiCaprio one. Isn't The Island, it's the beach.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, The Island is they live on.
Isn't it like Uma Thurman and Ethan Hawke or something? I have to look that up now. Let's see.
Yep.
The Island.
It's Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson and Jaimin Hansen.
There you go. Yes, Ewan McGregor. There you go. Great cast.
A-list talent. But the story is, you win the lottery, and it's not really so much you won, it's that you're going to be harvested for body parts for who the real person is.
Right.
And Steve Buscemi's in that too.
See, so there's a tie-in that puts it all together.
That's how it comes together.
That's hilarious. I love it. So you guys, this is Tom Gore. It's his birthday. We want to say happy birthday. Follow him at Tom_Gore_actor. I said it correctly that time.
Awesome.
What movie is out now? What do you have coming out now that you got? Actually, you did another movie called Mountaintop. I'm only bringing it up because we had Lynn Shay and Bob Gunton on the show.
Yeah, it was in the prison, and I was one of the convicts in that movie.
In Bloody Ballet, we've had Debbie Rochon, Caroline Williams, and Brett Wagner have all been on the show.
Yep.
And funny, and you did Killer Waves too. James Balsamo, Marky Ramone, Wednesday 13, Reggie Bannister, and Al Burke. And Marky Ramone, I've met a bunch of times. And Wednesday 13 used to shop in my clothing store. I used to have a clothing store in Florida, and all the rock stars. That's how I met Elton John. Everybody shopped there. And so he used to shop in there all the time. So you've worked with some really, stellar people. I only wish, the best for your future endeavors, and we may work together sometime soon. I'm going to find out if we need somebody who can realistically play a helicopter pilot for the film.
I can do other roles. I mean, I'm 6'3", 300 pounds, and I'm not the fat kind of 300 pounds. I'm a football player. I still have football player physique.
There you go. That's good. So you could actually play a killer too.
Yeah, you can put me in a suit. You can have me run around the woods.
I love it.
I have been taking photographs in a furry suit, and people thought I was Bigfoot.
There you go. Well, you are a big dude, so we want to thank you for coming on the show. We also want to wish you a happy birthday. Thank Matt for setting this whole thing up, and we'll see you on social media and at the movies.
See you at the movies.
All righty. Bye-bye. All right, you guys. So Ron's still under the weather, so I'm going to shoot solo on this. And our next, before we bring on our next guest, we're going to take a quick music break. This is Jam Wayne, No Problems. And when we come back, we'll be with our second guest, Andrew Eborn. So enjoy, you guys, and we'll be right back.
Okay, I ain't even gon' flex this Sunday. I ain't even up next, but one day you gon' put this tape in, hit the replay, gon' vibe in your ride, chill to the music, feeling what I'm putting inside, dealing with your vulnerable side. This go hard and I ain't even try. Close your eye, just vibe with me. Do or die for life, really. When I ride and he drive, in me. Great spirit is my Siri. Navigate through the ways of the land. Demonstrate when the near understand. Give me grace when I don't understand which way is the best. No, God's got a plan. Throughout my life, my hands stay dirty. Down the ride when it's necessary. Walk a line, I got no worries. Take my time, I'm in no hurry. Brothers die, so my eyes blurry. Another ride to the cemetery. Live your life, you know death coming. But a vape and we gone, homie. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want, you don't really want no problem. All till I see that, till I drop down 6 feet deep in the casket, till my last breath and I breathe that. Stand on the front line, called into action, keep my breathe, no relapse. Trying to stay clean, but the mud gon' stick. Suds in the fifth, duds on the whip, 1, 2, 5, 6, so I'm curling the silk with a pearl on the hill. Hand trigger flicker all big, piece with the wood on the grill. Black in a bit, about to be encouraged when I slip out, put the Hellcat on drill. Smoke in the spill, get on rap on the sit, you gon' sit with a pack on your still. Been through hell, and I'll be damned if I climb down just so I can jump back in. Back tie spin when I mash out, looking for the cash out. Red zone, go for the win. Ride for my friend, most of them gone so long in the grave, but they locked in the pen. Smoke in the wind, raise up a toast to the ones that be locked down, do in a bed. Know the world ain't shit. Lord heard every prayer lift up down there at cell block 6. As the world on tilt, everybody Leroy left. Had to put the South on drill, about this here, yeah. Bobbing with the head, now I'm mobbing in the streets I live. Let me make this clear, with some thoroughbreds in the country. Blue collar tried and true, and if it comes down to it, and you cross that line in the red, white, and blue, boy, you better salute. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want no problem. You don't really want, you don't really want no problem.
So everybody, that's Jam Wayne. I always like to play his music because he's before he became a popular hip hop dude, he was like a nuclear technician, and I find that fascinating. That because he looks like he lives in the backwoods, the backwoods of like South Carolina or some shit. But his music is really good. He's very popular for an indie artist, and now we're gonna bring on our next guest. So let's bring in Andrew Eborn.
Hey. I have to say, I love that. Was that brilliant? And he was a nuclear technician.
Yes, he's a nuclear engineer. Yes, and he puts out new videos all the time, and it's hip hop, but it's like a white dude doing hip hop, and it's rough and tough, and I just think he's fabulous. So
yeah, he is fabulous. Don't we love all of that? And
I
can I say
love
what a delight it is to be on your show? I was enjoying your first guest, and I've been trawling through the archives and seeing your record-breaking statistics and your brilliant guests you have on every time. What's happened to Ron then? He's not well.
He's not well. He actually started the show with our first guest, but he said he felt like he had to throw up, and so he's gone.
Well, he probably found out that I was on the running order. That's what happened.
Oh, yes. Let me do an official introduction. All right, everybody, now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Ron Russell, futurist, lawyer, broadcaster, host. I guess they call it a barrister in England. President of Octopus TV and Phoenix 360, Andrew Eborn from the UK. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hello, a sense of deja vu. It's lovely to be on your show.
I'm looking forward to it. I think it's so much fun. There's all kinds of things about you that I didn't know. I was trying to research you, but basically everywhere you Google you online, they all say the same thing.
That's useful. That's good.
You're a genius, a futurist, a lawyer, a broadcaster, a host, and you do a lot of interviews on a lot of other shows. And basically, like you're like the media king of the UK.
Ah, yes, more platforms than Paddington I'm on. So
there we go. Than Paddington. I love Paddington. I love the guy who's in Paddington. He's cute. Anyway, so one thing I bet though that people don't ask you very often, because I went to IMDb and you've been in a movie with Kelsey Grammer.
I have. Wasn't that extraordinary? Breaking the Bank was the name of the movie.
Breaking the Bank.
What I love about it as well, Jimmy, is that I've done every single part of this industry. So I've performed in movies. I've been on the radio. I've got my own show on television and all those sort of platforms. But yes, I did a great movie with Kelsey Grammer. A minor role, so fairly irrelevant. But he was brilliant and such a lovely guy. But do check that out, Breaking the Bank. Do you know Kelsey?
I don't know him. I have a lot of friends who know him, but I have never actually met him. Let me ask you a question. Are you on a desktop or a laptop?
I am on a laptop. Is that okay? Does that work for you?
No, it works. I wonder if we can move the camera, like move it down a little bit, because right now it says your name is blocking your chin. I want to see if we can see.
I don't want to block my chin. There's only one. I'll tell you what I can do. Just because it's you, I can
sit on a book.
Shall I sit on a cushion?
Yes, that's good.
How does that? There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
For you?
I don't want to have
You don't need to. You move your graphics. I will move for you. You see what?
I don't think there's a way to move them anyway. I don't do it like they do that at the
Well,
station.
The people behind the scenes on these shows are absolutely brilliant. So you want to see my chin, all of them.
Yes.
So I'm happy.
We want to see all of them. So yes, you did Breaking the Bank with Kelsey Grammer and John Michael Higgins, who's a really popular comedic actor here. They're both popular comedic actors here in the United States. And then I also wrote down that you did a bunch of documentaries, and you're a magician in Every Kind of People, the Robert Palmer video.
Yes, absolutely. So I'll tell you how that came about. Island Records, as it then was, that was the label for U2 and Cat Stevens and various others. It was sold to Polygram, and they used to have a video arm which used to do lots of music videos and things like that. And when it was sold to Polygram, they said, well, you can't do any more music videos anymore because you'll be competing, but you can do other aspects. So what they said to me, and I was representing them as a lawyer at that stage, they said to me, well, can you do something for us? And I thought, well, if you remember at Christmas time, children always used to get these little box of tricks, and they get these little bits of plastic. They're not quite sure how they work. So I thought that wouldn't it be great if we did the very, very first commercially available video explaining to people how they can do tricks, how they can make them themselves. And I got you a copy here. There we are. Very rare thing which people won't recognize. It's a VHS. Can you believe it? But that is Andrew Eborn, Art of Magic. It's a rare unsigned copy. And this is how he taught people how to do tricks and things like that. And what I loved is about creativity. So if you can spark that bit of intelligence rather than working on screens all the time and people getting lost in their own little world, it's getting people to connect in this glorious way. So that's what I did. The very, very first official magic taught on video called The Art of Magic. And it's still out there somewhere. You can probably find some on YouTube.
I think that is so cool. Like, it's so cool because you're not actually like a normal business person. Like, you're like kind of like a jack of everything, and you do everything, which makes it fun because you do a lot of music stuff. I wrote down you did Live at Nedworth, the documentary featuring all kinds of like basically the biggest people on the planet. Eric Clapton, Dire Straits.
I'll tell you how that came about, Jimmy, is we were representing a brilliant organization called Silverclef and Nordorf Robbins. And what they do is music therapy. So it's amazing. So kids, and in particular kids, who cannot connect in other ways, they would get them banging drums or making little sounds with cymbals and things like that. And they would teach them how to communicate effectively through music. So it's a great, great charity. And every year they have these Silverclef Awards, and it's given to the great and good of the industry. As you say, Paul McCartney, we had Genesis, Elton John, who I know you've sold clothes to and things like that. And so all these it's a wonderful who's who. And it was a big concert in Nebworth, where we got the Silverclef, all the winners one year, and it raised lots and lots of money as a result for this brilliant cause.
And Tears for Fears, I just saw them in concert here in the desert not too long ago. And then you did a Wake Up Punk documentary. And so as I was a clothing designer, my foray into entertainment, I had a clothing line. I had 3 clothing stores in Florida. I made one-of-a-kind clothing, only one of them. So if somebody saw somebody in it and asked me to make it, I wouldn't make another one.
Right.
And my favorite designer growing up was Vivienne Westwood.
Oh.
And I was in England, and I was actually in England one day, and actually in London, and I actually saw her. I got to meet her riding her bike to her store. I mean, this is like like a zillion years ago. But it was one of the highlights of my meeting celebrity, careers because it was Vivienne Westwood, and she makes the most outrageous stuff. I'm not a lot of people can wear it because it's a little bit too flamboyant, but I just thought the fact that people could make that wild stuff, and I liked her more in her punk rock days, when she used to do the punk rock stuff.
Yeah, and married to Malcolm McLaren, obviously, very famously as well. And I worked with their son, Joe Corey, who had a brilliant brand himself called Child of the Jaego. And also he did the Agent Provocateur, so made a lot of money on that sort of business. And what it was, that the way that came about, it was the 40th anniversary of punk. And Joe Corey, the son of Vivienne Westwood, very famously said he was going to burn his punk memorabilia because it was basically being acquired, if you like, by all the people that punk was supposed to rebel against. All these bankers were framing punk outfits and putting them on their wall. And he said, this is crazy. This is not what punk's about. So in that act rebellion, that is what he's going to do. And they put the figure on of about £5 million worth of punk memorabilia. And I suggested to Joe, well, look, if you're going to do that, you might as well document it. So you might as well film the the whole thing in the same way as that you can sort of then tell the story and get the message across. So that's exactly what happened, and it's evolved into that sort of a great documentary. But it's an important part, and I had the joy of meeting Vivian a few times on set. She's a real, I mean, she was obviously an iconic figure, Dame Vivian Westwood, as she was. And there's fascinating stuff that we found out about her. For example, the anarchy symbol. You wouldn't know this. I didn't know this. Even Joe was surprised. You know, the A, and it's got a circle around it. Vivian came up with that.
Oh, no, I didn't know that.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? And this whole safety pin thing, you know, with Johnny Rotten, John Lydon, all that sort of stuff. So iconic look at that sort of stage. But they used to get raided virtually every week on the King's Road. People come in and steal stuff. So it was sort of feast or famine for her on those sort of days. But obviously in the last few years, she's been celebrated around the world as a phenomenal fashion designer.
I would save up money because her stuff's very expensive. You know, it's very expensive. But I would go and buy all the little shirts with the little orbs on them because I like the little orbs. And I bought these great pants. And I had a chain that had it was like a big erect erect metal penis. I mean, she had everything wild. And she had one T-shirt that I used to look for all the time, but you could never find it. It just said Westwood, but in big letters. The W starts here and it ends on the D on the back. Right. Now it's like a collector's item. You could probably never, find it because, or if you did, it would be too expensive. But I think that she's so iconic, so wonderful. And I actually did a fashion show. We had this club in Florida, and it's where all the punk bands would play. And the Damned was touring, and they had me do a fashion show before the opening of the Damned. And we really had everybody really all punked out, and we had like simulated sex acts on the stage, and we had like girls with we took dildos and stuck them on drills, and we're making the drills go around. I mean, it was the wildest thing ever, and there was thousands of people there, and it was just fun. I kind of miss the times when life was just fun.
I tell you what, we should put, Jimmy, I love this. We should put the fun into dysfunctional. This is what you've got to work on, that sort of basis. But it was absolutely brilliant. I had the joy of working with the Damned as well. I had a hologram company. We got involved with that, and we took them to Abbey Road and did the filming in front of these big screens and sort of without disclosing fully how the magic works. But this is a great way of doing it. So we work with the Damned on that sort of basis. Work with a number of other artists as well, Mark Almond, and lots of good friends. Toya's a good friend as well. And we basically filmed them with holograms. And the great thing about holograms, it means that artists can earn money in their sleep. You are preserving them. And you've also got these digital resurrections. And we've got the great show over here at the moment with ABBA called the Voyage, it's called. It's like they sort of go into the ABBA-verse, and what you can do, you can see these recreations, and it looks so good that you think you're actually at the concert. And that's one of the great future things about things. And one of the companies that I'm now involved with is a company called Phoenix 360. And what that is looking at ways that we can make artists more money, because historically the creatives in this industry, and you're a creative, you understand this, haven't received the rewards they justly deserve. So this is an app that basically is free to download. And what happens, it gets them more money as a result of that. They can engage more with their fans, so they can tell people about ticket sales, they can advertise concerts in particular areas, but they can also do merchandise on it and various other things as well. They can do NFTs, and basically the great thing about this app, it's very easy to set up, but we can also help people, is they get their own website as a result of it. So it's all about engagement with the fans now, and embracing technology on that sort of basis.
It's a fabulous app. We actually had Alan Cleftis on the show about, I don't know, that must have been about 4 months ago, 3 or 4 months ago.
Right.
I didn't know if it was going to fly because we don't really bring businessy kind of people on, but the show was very popular. People loved him. They liked him a lot. You're really different than most people because, I'm a creative and I'm also a business guy. So I totally get you. But I think in entertainment, people are usually either the creative side or the business side. They usually aren't both. And the fact that you are successful at both, number one, is a big testament to, you and who you are and what you've created. But I think that Phoenix 360, you guys, it's phoenix360.com. It's FENIX360.com. It's an app. And again, you don't have to just be an artist. You can be any kind of creative, really.
And the great thing is, Jimmy, is that because it's free, everybody can just try it. Everybody's favorite four-letter word beginning with F. You work on that sort of basis. So this is the great. Just try it. And Alan's great. I was in New York just a few days ago with Alan. We've sort of been traveling the world ever since I was introduced by the brilliant John Velasco. And talking about ABBA, he actually was the guy who signed ABBA. And if you look at his CV, it is it's virtually every artist you could ever possibly think of. The soundtrack to your life. And he introduced me to Alan, and we got on fabulously, and such great potential.
We've had him too. We've had John Velasco on also.
You see, this is the show to be on, isn't it? This is what I love. Your stats. I was looking at these billions upon billions of people. There's nobody on this planet who hasn't seen the Jimmy Star Show.
We have really tried. You know, it's very hard to get. We get a lot of like A minus people. As far as music artists, we get phenomenal. As far as actors, it's a little bit more A minus and B plus, because the A people, they won't come on because we're not scripted. So I have little notes about you, but that's it. Like we just talk. It's a conversation show. And they won't come on. They won't come on if they don't know what you're gonna ask them. And I would never. It's a fun show, so we're not gonna like if you were like having sex with a tranny in the woods. We're not gonna bring it up because I don't want to bring up anything negative. I only want it to be fun. But we can't always get them. But music-wise,
and I think that's the thing. The people.
I was going to say too,
you get some great art. I was watching your 90s. I was watching your 90s show the last couple of weeks, and that was really great. You had some brilliant artists on there, which is good. But actually, I mean, we've got quite a rich history, which you probably don't know about because it's not necessarily out there all the time. But Jill Ireland, the brilliant actress, was on my father's side. She was an aunt on my father's side. And she was married to Charles Bronson, and before that to David McCullum, the Invisible Man, the man from U.N.C.L.E. So that was on my father's side. So we've got quite a rich history in the entertainment business as well. But what I love about it, and it's the same as you, and you get some really fascinating people, and people forget people are people, and everybody's normal. They've all got tales to tell, but they also have the same struggles that everybody else has. And if you prick me, do I not bleed? If you tickle me, do I not laugh? We're all the same. And I think if you try and dig that out of people, it's really fascinating.
Well, I think too, so we should tell everybody, you have your own show on Octopus TV called The Andrew Eborn Show. That's a great show, you guys. He brings on every kind of people. And you actually, I noticed recently you had the guy from Men Without Hats, and we had him on about 3 or 4 months ago.
Yes.
And he was a lot of fun. His Wi-Fi connection wasn't terrific for us, like because he was on an island or whatever. So it went out in and out once in a while. But I'm a big fan of theirs, and I enjoyed it. I also noticed you had Will Crutzen on recently, and he's been on the show. Susie Quattro was on your show. We've had her on the show. So you've had a lot of big people. We're
fantastic. Well, I had Charles Spencer's been on the show a couple of times. I've had Errol Musk, the father of Elon Musk, is on the show all the time. But I also have lots of politicians. Yeah, he's a fantastic, fascinating guy. And what I love about it, Jimmy, is having these people, these various celebrities on, is you get to speak to them directly about how they're reported in the press. And so often, never let the truth stand in the way of a good story. And you turn around, they always used to say that if you don't read the newspapers, you're ill-informed. If you do read them, you're misinformed. Well, that's never been true than it is today. We're drowning in a sea of misinformation. And there's so much prejudice, isn't there?
Yes, there's so much prejudice all the way around, and we don't really bring political people on because we try to keep it all entertainment. But I was going through your list of guests, and I was like, oh my God, like you have had, some super impressive, and that really impressed me, Elon Musk's father. I also think I saw, maybe it wasn't you. Did you have Roger Stone?
Yes, I had Roger Stone's bit. I know it's shocking, isn't it? So I had Roger Stone on the show as well, who reminded me that politics is entertainment for ugly people. One of my favorite quotes. So he's a real character, and I think
love Roger Stone. I love Roger Stone, and I think
has he been on your show?
No, he hasn't been on my show because we don't do the politics thing, right. So I don't think it would work. But I've always enjoyed everything he does. I also think he's super cute. And I just think he's like, he's a great guy. And I think, people nowadays, everybody hates everybody. And so like, everybody's got something to say. I'm all about we live in a country and let everybody believe whatever that they want to believe, as long as you don't push it on me. I'm fine with it. You get
I think, and the thing I'm really, and I do, I have lots of wonderful people in the entertainment business, but also some quite controversial people who don't normally get platformed in the mainstream media, even though I work with the BBC and I work with Times Radio and CNN, and as I say, more platforms than Paddington. Because what I believe is that everybody's entitled to at least express their own opinion rather than a distortion of that opinion. And of course, you can hold their feet to the fire. Of course, you can challenge them on those views. But it's better that people hear it directly from the person concerned, because there's so much misinformation about there. And the one thing I would always urge everybody to do is to question everything. Because what tends to happen, and you know this, is that you'll get people who will surround themselves with friends who've got a particular view, and they only ever stay in that little vacuum, if you like. And they only read newspapers or watch channels that endorse that view. And so often, what I like to do, even with people close to me, I just recommend flick through all the different channels, get your news from several different sources, but also try and find out yourself. Always be inquisitive, because the truth is out there. And I always say that sunlight is the best disinfectant. And so many times people try to hide the information, but it is out there. But you're right. But I would urge people, do go along to the Andrew Eborn Show. It is free, everybody's favorite four-letter word, on YouTube. We've got tens of thousands of different people who tune in every week.
I can't believe how many shows we just do one show a week, and it's a lot of work for me. You're posting up like new show, like you must put like 10 shows a week up.
Well, no, I do, because the great thing is, because I do regular shows in the mainstream media as well, so I can put all the clips up there, and a real joy. I've been doing that for a very long time, and the great thing about it, even when I was in New York, I was broadcasting on the BBC and Times Radio, and what I loved about being in New York is that I do the breakfast show on Times Radio every so often, and what happens is you have to get up at 3:30 in the morning here and read all the papers and see what's coming in, what the breaking news is. When I'm in New York, it's only 10:30 at night. I can come in from one of the glorious concerts or whatever it is. So I really like that, and that was good. It's the same. So I was broadcasting for Times Radio from the Hard Rock Hotel. That's where we were staying this time, so we never have to pay for that again. And the reality was exactly that. And the same with the BBC. I was doing some broadcasting from there. So that's the reason. Yes, every day there's new content on the Andrew Eborn Show. And as I say,
that's a very hard thing to do in general. By the way, Eileen Shapiro just sent me. She called me. I said, we're on the show. She said, say hello for me. It was an accident. But so Eileen Shapiro, everybody knows her.
She is the biggest superstar ever. I tell you what, isn't she an absolute delight?
Yes, we've been business partners for I think about 10 years now. We get along. We never had an argument. So that's
You've never had an argument. What was the secret to that?
We get along very well. We both stay in our wheelhouses. She has things she's good at. I have things I'm good at. And together we make a complete, whole, phenomenal person.
but it's brilliant. She is a force of nature. I only met her fairly recently, because one of the things that Phoenix 360 does are these live events, and they had it down down in New York. We have lots of undiscovered artists and sort of give them a platform, and they get paid, which is great. So we have this sort of platform for Phoenix 360 artists, and I met her literally just a few weeks ago in New York, and we became like instant buddies. She's one of those sort of people. So absolutely great shout out. But what we're trying to do with Phoenix 360, we're doing those around the world. So I'm working with Alan. I went down to Australia with him. I do a lot of work in Japan and in Korea and so on and so forth. So we're looking at that. Also in Canada, they've got the the TIFF. It's the Toronto International Film Festival.
Big one.
So we're looking at doing something, going down there for that. And I also I go down and Cannes a number of times each year, because the festival city, and I have historically been hosting the drama awards down there. So we're thinking of launching a new aspect for Phoenix 360 there, which will be a TV channel as well. So watch this space on that one.
Cool. Oh, that's definitely cool. So one of the things is I'm big in music, and I love all the music stuff, but Eileen really loves the music stuff, and I love all the movie stuff. I've got 9 films in production right now, and I've produced a bunch of films, and it's so funny because like Eileen will call me up because she interviews everybody, like literally, she interviews everybody, the biggest stars on the planet, and she'll call me up. If it's a music person, she knows who it is right off the bat. But she'll call me up and she'll be like, they want me to interview, and she'll say like Steve Carell, Yeah, is
Yes.
that somebody, is that worth my time to interview Steve Carell or Emma Stone? Is that worth my time to interview Emma Stone? And I'll be like, yeah, that's worth your time. Go and interview them. It's a really good one, but she knows all the music people because she's super into it. And her favorite, so my favorite music really is boy bands. I love all the British boy bands. That's why we had 911 on recently, which is a British boy band, and we have E17 coming on when I come back, and that's my favorite thing. Like my goal. I have two British people that I want on really bad, and my goal is Robbie Williams.
Okay.
Take that. I want Robbie Williams, and I want Michelle Dockery from
brilliant.
Downton Abbey. Those are like my two gets, and I want to put
Robbie is absolutely brilliant. And I used to work on a children's television program years and years ago, probably about the same time as this video came out, which is the beginning of the 90s. And it's just when Take That was starting. So I used to do this Saturday morning kids show as well called Motormouth, and it's where Take That first performed. And I remember all the boys were driven in this huge limo, and they just obviously got the first taste of being stars and getting that treatment. And they all sort of wide-eyed and naive, and Robbie was absolutely brilliant. He was always the Joker, and he's got a great movie out called Better Man. Have you seen it?
Yeah, it's great movie.
Isn't that good?
I don't know why it didn't do well. Well, it didn't do well in America because unfortunately not enough people know who Robbie Williams is. Because I'm a boy band fan, I like know, and he's like one of the biggest things ever, and I've always been a boy band fan, so I've liked all of them. But I like him the best, and I think that he didn't go well for him with Take That, and he went on his own and fucked all of them, and he's like basically way more successful than the rest of them.
Yeah, I think the ping on your phone was probably from Robbie. Now that he's seen me on the show, he'll come on the show as well.
Good, I love it. And
Robbie's absolutely brilliant. But what it is, Jimmy, it's a lesson in how these bands get on and the behind the scenes stuff. It's really tough on the road, and I often ask people exactly how they survive. It's like a marriage, isn't it? But it's worse, if you like, because it's more intense. You're thrown into situations. People are exhausted. They don't really have a life outside. They have to preserve a certain image. And it's always very, very difficult. One of the great people who Eileen introduced me to was a chap called Howard Bloom. I'm sure he's been on your show as well.
Yes.
But he does all the PRs and the great rich and famous and wonderful stars throughout history, including Michael Jackson.
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Yeah,
and he was sort of saying that basically it's one of the difficult things for people is when they come off stage, they're so elated performing in front of tens of thousands of people. When they come off stage, that's the time that it really hits them. When the black dog, as they call it, of depression sort of hits, because you no longer have that adoration. And he always tells them, look to the next future thing. Always be looking forward. So if you reach a certain level of success, look for the next level and do that. And it's so.
Wait, are you gonna put that? Because one of the things I looked it up because I wasn't really sure what it is, because they say you're a futurist, a very well-known futurist, and I didn't exactly know. I mean, I can guess what that is, but I actually looked it up. So tell people, just in case they have no idea what that, because that's really very interesting.
Yeah. So what I do, so what I do, I work with companies around the world, predicting what the next big thing is going to be. So everything. So for example, with artificial intelligence, I like to put the AI into Britain. See what I did there? And what I do is I work with companies, say, look, this is how you can harness this technology, so you're aware of both the threats and the opportunities. Because I always say, look, AI is perhaps our biggest human achievement, but also potentially the biggest existential threat. And if people don't know what the technology is and what it can do, they're all scared about the negative side, about losing their jobs and so on and so forth. But AI, for example, if you can harness the power of AI, how that can accelerate growth in companies, and there have been across all sorts of industries, there have been seismic advances in medicine where cures for diseases they never thought possible, been absolutely phenomenal on that sort of basis. So what I do is I look at those opportunities with companies, I predict the trends, and I say that the best way of predicting the future is to make it. And that's what we do. So with companies, I'll explain what sort of opportunities there are, explain how they can harness those accordingly. And that's what I do. I then become a strategic advisor for those different companies, which is what I'm doing with Phoenix. How to harness that technology, how to look at the different markets and the changes they're going to be on that sort of basis.
I love AI. About 6 months ago, I was like, if you don't get on the bandwagon, you're going to get left behind. And I just use very basic, things. I write stuff. I I make posters for movies that I'm working on. Then I make the posters come alive, and all kinds of stuff for my social media, because I have like 1 million followers on social media, and I have to have stuff all the day. But as I've been learning more and more, I just keep learning more and more every day about it, because I know that this is definitely the wave of the future. If you're not aboard of it, you're definitely going to get left behind. And even though I'm old, I don't want to get left behind.
Well, you're not old at all, and actually AI has been around for a very long time. It was actually in the 1950s that they had this sort of artificial intelligence, which is basically computers. And there was this wonderful thing called the Turing test. You might remember Alan Turing, who appears. We have these wonderful notes over here. Let's see if I've got one for you. There we are. I have these wonderful notes where Alan Turing basically appears on the back of those. Here we are. We've got one here. It's the £50 note. So Alan Turing, which is the guy who basically he had a differently wired brain, but he cracked the Enigma code, you might remember, down in Bletchley Park, and he was famous on that sort of side. But what happens is AI has been around since the 50s, and people have used it in different ways, and people are using it even without knowing it, with it's predicting text and so on and so forth. But now what's happening is it's a lot of people are worried about how it's going to affect the creative industries, and people can tell that when people are writing their exams or they're writing essays, that AI has been written by ChatGPT or Grok, as I like, which is Elon's equivalent.
Is Grok better? Is Grok better than is? Do you think Grok is better?
Only because I've got personal interest. I am a musketeer, so I do like what Elon's doing with it. Try both of them. They're both free, and see what works for you. I do use both, and I think they're really good search engines. But there's a knock-on effect, and what's going to happen? I advocate this as well, talking about how things in education. I'm often asked about this as well. Is you're getting all these kids are basically in the same way as when you and I were growing up. We used to have slide rules. Maybe you didn't really have calculators because that sort of stopped people thinking, and you had to know your times table. If you don't use it, you lose it. So what's going to happen? We're going to say, well, how can you test the children when they're doing their studies? And what I've always advocated is actually you should bring in oracy. You should give people do all your research on Grok, do your research on ChatGPT. It can help you write your letters. Make sure it's a first draft and you add your own elements to it, so it becomes a co-pilot rather than a thing. But also then the way to test them is to put them in front of their classmates and ask them questions, get them to explain it, because we're losing the power to communicate. And I always say that the more intelligent, the smarter these devices become, the more dumb we become.
I agree with that 100%. And I think people like the generations, after me, I don't think they have any communication skills, whatsoever. Just the fact that, you see stuff on the news here in the United States all the time, how people get out of college and they take their parents on their job interviews and stuff because they have no idea how to do anything, so people have really lost, I can't even imagine that. My parents were poor, so I basically, got my first job knocking on doors when I was 9 years old with my lawnmower saying, "Can I mow your lawn?" So I've never been shy. But I think that, people have lost a lot of skills because of it, and ChatGPT will probably even make it worse. But I also think that you need to make it your own. But I think that that's the way to go. I mean, I make movie posters and they're freaking awesome. They look so freaking good. And I used to pay somebody $3,000 to make a poster, and now I can make it myself. So I love it.
Oh, yeah, it's great. As I say, you can harness that sort of power. So that's what you do. Look at that opportunity. But then what does that do? That frees you up to do more stuff and work on that sort of base. You can then get your creativity going. And it's quite sad. I don't know if you see this in restaurants now, where people, if they're going on a date or something, they're all just embedded and sort of lost in their phones and so on and so forth. And people don't know how to communicate. And I think this is what we need to do. We need to bring back that power. It's the same with society. We need to bring back the families, because I always say it takes a village to bring up a child. And if they're all just cocooned in their own little world on their digital devices, and you're not interacting with people, you're going to lose a really important part of society.
No, I agree 100%. And I'm one of those people I wouldn't be buried in my phone at a restaurant. I'm buried in my phone at home a lot, though, when I'm watching TV, because I'm doing my social media.
You've been pinging away merrily since you've been on air, so I love that.
But I think you have to be, first of all, to be an interviewer, you have to be able to talk to people and talk off the top of your head, because I never know where the conversation's going to go. So you just talk and see where it goes. But I think all the things that you've done are fascinating. And I had something else written down here. Let me think. So So keynote. So first of all, when you Google your name, you come up as a keynote speaker for like 10
Yes.
different companies. Like you, so you do a lot of keynote speaking, obviously, because you have a lot of different agents. You have lots of them,
and I love them all, and all of them are exclusive, obviously. No, I work with the best in the industry, and I always work on the basis that I love to go travel to places. I love to talk to different people, and it's great about keynote speeches because rather than doing the same speech each time, which some people are fairly lazy, you go and see them once, you think, oh, they were very good, you go and see them again, it's the same stuff. I tailor it for different organizations, and I think if you can adapt it, that's the most powerful thing. So again, it's talking about the different companies that we talk to. It's looking at those organizations because they're going to have their own challenges. And I would sit down with them beforehand, do all sorts of research, and absolutely then go and work and say, look, okay, here are some elements that we can bring. Here's some key takeaways that you want from this. It's apart from the entertainment side and everything else, we can do something really special for your company to make that make sense. So I love doing the live speaking things. And as I say, I also do a lot of award ceremonies, including in Cannes with the Drama Awards and various other things. And those are great fun as well. We also have an organization over here called the Royal Television Society, and that's the great and good of the industry. And I do their Royal Television Society podcast for London here, and interview the great and the good about television and how that's changing. Because television itself it's not about the device, because television is a device. It's about the content. And you're getting content now in many, many different ways. I mean, you are broadcasting, you're producing content. You've probably got a bigger audience than some of these channels on traditional television.
Oh, I do. Yeah, we do have a bigger. I mean, I have my TikTok. Like my TikTok has been blowing up lately, and I think in like 7 months, I think I have like 18 million plays on TikTok.
Hey, look at that. Do you dance as well? Are you a dancer? Have you done a TikTok?
No, I don't do that. I don't do dancing. I just basically promote whatever my shit that I have going, whatever movie I have out or whatever I have going on, I promote it. But you know, the difference between me and other people with a lot of following on TikTok and other things is I basically talk to everybody. Like I'm on Twitter, and if you have 8 followers and you tweet something to me, I will respond. I respond to everybody. You know, and I think that's really why people follow me, is because I try to be nice to everybody, because everybody's at different places in their life, but they're all doing their own thing, you know, and maybe one person's better known than another. It doesn't make you any better than that person. It's just different. You're different.
Well, no, absolutely. And everybody can learn from other people. I think the world is so fractured at the moment and so much dissent that the more we can walk a mile in somebody else's moccasins is what I'd recommend. And that's what I do. I get engaged by, I say, traditional channels, sometimes to play devil's advocate. To eke out sometimes very controversial views from other people, but sometimes you get that road to Damascus moment. If you can talk things through, jaw, not war, so much more will be solved as opposed to people just ranting and raving at each other.
All right, so we have 3 minutes. Who's on your bucket list? If you could interview anybody on the planet that you haven't had a chance to interview yet, who's on your bucket list? I gave you my bucket list.
There's this great podcaster who's got millions of followers in the state, a guy called Jimmy Starr. I don't know if you know. He's going to be brilliant. So he's definitely top of the list. No, and the great thing is, Jimmy, I get approached by lots of people when they want to announce things and so on and so forth. As I say, I speak to lots of royalty. I speak to lots of people. I treat everybody the same. That I have a lot of respect for people, and that's what I love. And as I say, the Andrew Eborn Show, we get great guests all the time. So everybody's on my bucket list, from the poorest of the poor to the richest of the rich, and they all get treated with respect.
It's a really good attitude for the whole thing. And I watched some of your shows. I actually want to go back and watch a few of the Elon Musk's father ones, and I'll probably look for the Roger Stone one, just because like when he got pardoned or whatever, he did this little dance, and I saved the video because I thought it was a lot of fun. So I just think those kinds of things are fun. So you guys can check out the Andrew Eborn store. All you got to do is throw the Andrew Eborn into YouTube, you guys, and the shows will come up. You can also go to the Octopus TV website. It's www.octopus.tv. And you can go see Andrew on Instagram. He's got a couple Instagrams, but his personal one is, I think at least, is at Andrew.Eborn. Is that right?
Yeah, and lots on Twitter as well, at Andrew Eborn, at Octopus TV.
I just followed you right as the show was starting.
Brilliant. I love it. The stalking is now commenced. But I would implore everybody, please do get in touch. I try to interact as much as possible with people as you do, Jimmy. And also, they pose questions for the guests. So I like to get the general public involved. When we have these great names coming on, we get the people involved. So do sign up on the YouTube channel as well. Go and check that out, the Andrew Eborn Show. And Eborn is E-B-O-R-N. People always put far too many vowels in there sometimes. So it's really, really simple. E-B-O-R-N. Check that out now, and you'll be very well. Come and join thousands of people.
And go to Phoenix 360, you guys. Go to phoenix360.com. And if you're in New York, their next show is on August 27th at Chelsea Table and Stage in New York City. It's a Wednesday night. Mark McLaughlin, I know, is one of the performers that's going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. So if
he was on my show. He's a great voice. He sings the national anthem.
Great voice. Yeah, he's got a great voice. All right. So, Andrew, thank you so much for coming on the show. Wish you only the best, and we'll talk soon. See you soon.
Take care. It's lovely to see you. You take care, Jimmy.
Bye-bye. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be off for the next 2 weeks, and we'll be back on the beginning of September. Have a good one, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody. Thanks so much.
Jimmy,
Yeah, this is MC Alfred and Ozzy. I'm just chilling, Jimmy Star, yo, sitting down and designing. Why every man in my thinking, what are we gonna be wearing? Yo, I'm a Liverpool MC, you can't test me. Big up the girls inside the party. Let's get down to crazy Jimmy. Big up myself and known as Alfie, the one and only, the Turkish MC.
always love the clothes of Jimmy.
Bitch, I'm your one I wanna be. Jimmy Star, new celebrity.
We'll take you out.